Oh, nice, dude. Beers? Oh, sick, dude. You drinking beers? I love beers. So how long have you known? So, oh, dude, how long have you been drinking beers? Oh, yeah, dude. No, I'm cool. I've already took 30 beers just for a minute. Oh, yeah, dude. I'm on my 12th beer, or 13th beer, actually. Yeah, John Morant. Well, yeah.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Thursday, April 3rd, 2025. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Melas.
Podcast listeners, and John Schumann. This one's for you.
Next to him, it's the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kerby.
Hey-o.
Hey, yo. And over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. Shout out to the stream team. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Schumann, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And podcast listeners, 5-star ratings and reviews. Well, we asked for them, and the league is delivering. More wedgies last night. 2 more, in fact. Number 43 and 44. We had Josh Okogie in the Hornets-Pacers game, sticking one on the left side.
Thank you.
Very nice. And then, we weren't done. In the Clippers-Pelicans game, early in this game, Kelly Olynyk and I guess Chris Dunn fighting for the rebound, and they're going to sort of team up together there to stick a quick wedgie. But we counted it. They stopped the play. That's number 44. So look at that. Tass, I think that's our 6th wedgie in the last week. Mm-hmm. So this is great. Getting our numbers up before the start of the postseason.
Yeah, and that was a rare one there by Kelly Olynyk.
Weird.
The broadcaster there, Brian Seaman on the broadcast, said, we have an unusual wedgie right there. It was a weird one because Chris Dunn grabbed a defensive board and then Kelly Olynyk stole it and just threw it up into the wedgie. That doesn't happen very often. That was a weird wedgie. That was a Canadian wedgie. Yeah. Wedgies are different for Canadians, I guess. That was a unique
Very
wedgie.
true.
It was, yeah.
It was like 90 seconds into the game, too.
Yeah.
Rare. You don't see a wedgie like to start a game, basically.
I wonder what the fastest second jump ball is in NBA history. I don't know. You know, could it have happened in the first minute? Possibly, but
Yeah, it's possible.
we don't know. I do like though that baskets were scored on both of these wedgies. Whoever on the first one dunked it in, went up, jumped, dunked it in, and then this one Olynyk just boop,
Tapped it in.
Yeah. Doesn't count for points, but still nice to see.
Style points. All right, so up to 44 wedgies. Okay, let's get into some of the games last night. We're going to hit the beach a little bit later, answer a few of your questions. But we'll begin with Donovan Mitchell scoring 27 points as the Cavs rallied past the Knicks for their 61st victory. The Knicks were up at halftime, and we've been looking at this game wondering, hey, can the Knicks beat a good team, one of those elite teams in the East? They've struggled against the Cavs, struggled against the Celtics, have struggled against the Thunder, obviously, in the West the 2 times they played them. They're up, but then the Cavalanche happened, Tass. It was sort of near the end of the third quarter, into the fourth, 15-2 run over a 4-minute span, and the Cavs go on to get the victory.
Yeah, the Knicks were absolutely cooking. OG Anunoby was awesome in the first half. I mean, he is on his best offensive run of his career right now. Now, 8 straight 20-point games, the first time of his career. 19 points in the first half. That Euro step went to his left leg. He had everybody erupting for him. It looked like they had control of this game. That didn't happen. Going to the second half, Donovan Mitchell turned it on. He looked great. I mean, he had some great stuff. He had the up and over reach with Landry Shamet reaching in there. He pulled the Dwayne Wade move. But to turn it on in the second half, Donovan Mitchell looks like he's been waiting to turn it on here late in the season. He'll be able to turn it on in the playoffs. That's the hope. But he got it cooking. 7 of 10 in that second half to win that second half for the Cavs. 71-45. It wasn't surprising when you sit back and you think about, well, the Knicks giving up a monstrous lead, but they had won their last 71 games with a 15-point lead. Their last 71 games they had won. It's a weird stat that NBA.com shared that they were 71-0 when leading by 15-plus points in a game since Halloween of 2023. Like, they had won the last 71 games when they were up 15 points. So you think about it, well, that's a rare thing for the Knicks, but you kind of just figure watching the Knicks like, yeah, that's kind of a thing that the Knicks would give up a lead. right? I mean, that's what kind of
Got to happen eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, 71-0. That's a long stretch.
Yeah.
That's going to break eventually.
Stat.
No Jalen Brunson, obviously. No other real point guards for New York. This was kind of a case to me of the Cavs flipping the switch, specifically on the defensive end. In the first half, New York went 10 of 21 from three-point land. In the second half, they went 1 for 15. The difference in shooting percentages, first half 60% for New York, second half 31% for New York. It just completely looked like the Cavs upped their physicality, their effort level. Their closeouts were a lot better. Just look at OG Anunoby's first and second halves. He took 8 threes, made 5 in the first half, only got 2 up in the second half. The Cavs were locked in, and that's how they won this game. I think more of an impressive second half for the Cavs than like the Knicks blowing it. Like they gave up the lead, but they're playing DeLon Wright at point guard. Like, what do you expect? OG went off. That was pretty cool, but the Cavs are one of these teams that can just go on a massive spurt, and they did it.
Yeah. In terms of getting Brunson back into the lineup for the Knicks, I heard James Edwards III on the Daily this morning talking about plan is he's traveling with the team here on this little road trip for New York. He might play here in Atlanta on Saturday or maybe the game after that, so he should be back soon. I think he has to play 4 games to hit the 65 game played threshold for like all NBA teams. So, there's not a lot of games left. He'd have to get back somewhat soon and play in a majority of them, at least to hit that mark. But
he's at 61 right now, I think. Yeah.
So they should be getting him back here soon enough. And I thought on the Cavs side of things, just looking at his last couple games, Jared Allen, last 3 out of his 4 games have been monsters. He had a 29-15 game against the Spurs. Then he didn't play well in a loss to the Pistons. But then he had 25-12 against the Clippers in a win. And then he had another great game last night, 21 and 8 rebounds. He shot 10 of 11. I think he's an important player. He's got the infamous quote that the Brights got too light in the postseason against the Knicks. They're going to need him to be big. And I think he's playing some of his best ball over this last little stretch. Yeah. So good win from Cleveland. Their 61st victory. Wow.
Had a sweet dunk, too. Jared Allen did late in the fourth quarter. Pulled it way back. Went for the dunk. Afterwards, he said, I was trying to look like LeBron. That's LeBron's jump man dunk, or logo man, I guess it's called, where he pulls it way back. He's like, didn't look anything close. No. Didn't have the legs. Had the full extension. That's a long arm he's got.
Yeah, the legs are not being kicked
Not quite the same.
No.
It was graceful, though, I thought.
Put it way out there for sure. So they get it done. Let's keep it going. Anthony Davis, talking about big guys. He overcame an eye injury to lead the Mavericks past the Hawks. Sad caca for Atlanta. 120-118. AD, 34 points, 15 boards, 5 blocks, and 4 stitches. While coming up clutch against Atlanta. Yeah, he got cut above the eye there, TK. Had to get some stitches, but then he had the beautiful game winner at the end with 3 or 4 seconds left on the clock. Trae Young would get a shot. He would defend that, but man, what a shot by AD.
Yeah, he was awesome. This is a guy that I think could probably benefit from wearing goggles. I think he got poked in the eye during the bubble. Had to wear goggles for a little bit, but he looked awesome. He always gets hit in the face.
Yeah.
Other than Dwight Powell, the leader in getting hit in the face, Anthony Davis has got to be up there. He was so good in this game. 34 points, 15 rebounds, 5 blocks. Obviously, he cares. And then you mentioned the shot to win it was awesome, but prior to that, he was right there next to Cody Martin defensively to stop Trae Young on a drive, blocked it out of bounds, then gets the steal off Dyson Daniels, then has this awesome play, gets the ball with 7 seconds left, gets to his left hand like he likes, hits a Derek Queen-esque floater to beat the Hawks, and then on the defensive end, he gets Trae Young on a switch. Trae can't get by him and has to shoot a moon ball 3-pointer that didn't go down. That was just like the perfect Anthony Davis game. Pretty impressive, I thought, and Klay Thompson, I thought, was pretty helpful in the fourth quarter as well. Hit 8 points, a couple of threes, had an assist to Davis as well, tied the game up with 41 seconds. He showed up in clutch time just like AD did.
Yeah, AD must be pumped to save those eyes and save his body because his centers are back. All of his centers are back. Derek Lively came back to play beside him. He hasn't played in months. He hasn't played since mid-January, his first game back. Daniel Gafford is back, his second game back, and AD kind of saved it for the second half. He played 10 minutes in the first half. Chilling, and then he turned it on in the second half when he had played his most minutes at center in the second half. Jason Kidd was sprinkling them out in the third quarter, and then he closed the game as the center, and he played 19 minutes in the second half, and his second half line was awesome. 19 points, 9 boards, and 4 blocks. So he finished it as the center, and then he finished it defensively because Trae Young tried to hit the game winner over Anthony Davis, who was playing center, and he got his hand out just far enough, and Trae Young tried to go way over, tried to go way high over, raised a little bit of a moonshot that was just short. It was on line over AD's arm, but
I think he
just
thought it was
short.
good, but it was well defended, as well as you can defend for a giant guy out on Trae Young out on the perimeter. Then they like both crashed to the floor, and like Trae went down first, and like they're both trying to look at the shot, and AD's looking back to see if it goes in, and he like trips over Trae Young and nearly like bites it on the scorer's table. Like, oh my God, this guy! I just wrap him in bubble wrap.
He's just close friends with the trainers, man. He wants to go back and see him every 24 to 30 minutes.
Holy crap, I'm happy he was okay. But this Mavericks team, a few weeks ago, they appeared headed for the lottery. They were in danger of not meeting the NBA minimum for like active players in some of those games with the flood of injuries that they had. And then here they are today, sitting in 9th spot in the Western Conference. They're 2.5 games up now on the 11th place Suns with 5 games left to play. The Kings obviously are there as well, but they're not good. So they're up on them. I mean, they're going to be in. And so that's a bit of a win for the Dallas Mavericks. This, they traded Luka Doncic. That's an L. But
they lost Kyrie Irving for
sure
the rest of the season. But Anthony Davis is the best player on the 9, 10, and 11 teams right now. So I mean, he's better than anybody on Sacramento. Durant is out. He's better than Booker, at least right now. He's been playing great in this game. He was struggling a little bit, but he had that awesome game before he got hurt. Yeah. I'm an Anthony Davis believer. I would take AD over any of the Grizzlies right now. They've won 5 of their last 7. Like Tass mentioned, this is like the healthiest they've been outside of Kyrie right now. Timberwolves are playing well in 7th seed, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that the Mavs make the real playoffs.
Right.
They would have to win 1 of 2 games against like the Kings can't beat anybody right now.
They can't beat the Wizards.
Yeah. And the Suns are somehow even worse than the Kings.
I know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think Dallas has a good shot.
Yeah, and it's a fun little storyline, like Klay Thompson saying, man, it's just great to play with Anthony Davis now, and it's a little good narrative that this veteran team can try and overcome a team like the Memphis Grizzlies, or whoever they match up with, the Rockets or whoever. It's a fun little storyline to see a healthy Klay talking about, AD's good, man. It's fun to play with that guy, and they're saving him for the playoffs as much as possible. Yeah, he got his eye dinged up, but they're playing him below this minutes restriction or this maximum amount of minutes here. It's 10 minutes again in the first half and then 19 in the second half. Like they're saving him. They're saving him, and he'll be there, man. It sure feels like anyway.
Let's move to the Rockets. Dillon Brooks picking up his 16th technical last night after kicking Collin Sexton south of the equator, as they called it on the broadcast, in the groin area. So this is big because Brooks faces an automatic 1-game suspension because of that 16th technical. That's the number you got to hit to then maybe warrant the 1-game suspension. It could get rescinded, I guess. We'll show it to you here. It came pretty early in the game. He's trying to post up Sexton. He's got his back to him. He spins inside to attempt the turnaround jumper. Sexton sort of swipes the ball away before Brooks can get the shot off. And in the follow-through, Brooks kicks his right leg out. And again, that catches him there in the groin. Brooks said he hopes it gets rescinded. He wants to play against his Canadian national teammate, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the Thunder on Friday. But do you expect this one to be rescinded, Tass?
No.
Or he will be sitting out a game? No.
That's Draymond Green's move right there. I mean, that's a straight kick to the groin. And it was bound to happen that he was bound to get his 16th tech of the season, where he was going to get suspended. I don't think it's a big deal at all. They've clinched their playoff spot now. They've got a 3-game lead for the 2nd seed. So I don't think it's a big deal.
They're good there.
He deserves
and it resets in the postseason. It doesn't obviously carry over for him. Yeah.
He deserves to be suspended for a game at some point. I mean, he gets a lot of techs. So
I actually think it'll be rescinded.
This one.
Yeah. Dillon Brooks said post-game, usually those things are considered flagrants, and I guess Tony Brothers misspoke. I'll be ready to play on Friday. The Draymond kick on Steven Adams, exact same play. That was a flagrant. If you get technicals as often as Dillon Brooks and Draymond Green do, like, they know the rules. They're like, if I kick a guy in the nuts, that's a flagrant, not a technical. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just turn it into a flagrant foul. Okay. Not that it's better, but it keeps him on the court.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't look intentional to me. Like, it looked more intentional when he was humping LeBron than when he kicked Collin Sexton in the nuts. But those things happened in 2 straight games for Dillon Brooks.
Yeah. He was tossed in the obviously the Suns game with Kevin Durant, right? That was not that was a couple games ago, right? he's gonna say he's embellishing the contact because the ball gets swiped away, and he's done this before, and other guys have done it, but he has the history of all these antics, like Draymond Green, where he's going to try just embellish as much as possible, and he's sort of reckless about it. And I guess hostile. Kicking a guy in the nuts you don't like to see. And man, Sexton goes down. He's like in a weird pose on the ground for a while. He was okay. But yeah.
He's trying to draw the foul with his foot.
Yeah.
I mean, with a literal kick. I hope that they call a foul on the guy that I'm kicking.
Right.
It's a really weird one. But yeah, it's a true Draymond kick to Steven Adams nuts. That's what it was.
Hey, Karl Malone became the second leading scorer in NBA history by kicking guys in the nuts every time he took a fadeaway.
Yeah.
Classic.
So we'll see. I guess we'll probably find out today, I guess maybe tomorrow, whether that is rescinded and he can play against OKC. We'll find out. Anything from that game? I mean, they absolutely hammered the Jazz.
They clinched their playoff spot. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. What a season.
Great season for them.
Reed Shepherd was sweet in the fourth quarter. 15 points in 9 minutes, hit 5 threes, also had 2 assists. They were chanting for him. And I mean, this was a blowout, so cool to see. He probably won't play in the playoffs, hardly at all, unless it's blowout scenarios. But imagine a world where Fred VanVleet picks up a couple of quick fouls. Dillon Brooks does something to actually get himself tossed. Could happen. Maybe we see Reed Shepherd have a moment in the playoffs for one single quarter or something like that. That was an exciting time.
Yeah. So the Rockets, they beat the Jazz and they clinched that Southwest Division and a playoff spot, like Tass said. We also had the Nuggets losing to the Spurs. Now, they were missing basically all their guys. It was sort of the Westbrook show, but they couldn't get the victory. So that loss dropped them to number 4. They're now 1 loss behind the Lakers, who have jumped them to number 3. And we had the Clippers beating the Pelicans. They edged to within a half a game of the number 6 Grizzlies and the number 7 Wolves. That's the sort of the takeaways from last night's games when you're looking at the standings. Any of the those games or teams jumping other teams that you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, the Denver Nuggets literally sitting their entire starting 5. They said, you guys all sit. Yeah. And so that's why they can't win, but they're resting for the playoffs. They don't really care what seeding they end up with. They just don't care. So just random things. The Damian Lillard potential update with the Milwaukee Bucks. He had the blood clot, the deep vein thrombosis that he's going through. Apparently, the Bucks hope that Lillard will be back for the postseason, as Shams Charania reported that he'll be returning to basketball activities in the next 7 to 10 days, which is, is pretty short considering the news came out just March 25th. They've only missed 4 games since then, so it's pretty short, and they're hopeful for that. Thunder Pistons, where the Thunder keep winning games. I mean, that was a weird foul at the end of this game. Sorry to get in the weeds here, but 3.5 minutes left. Jalen Duren has the ball in the post. He gets called for just turning around and hitting Kenrich Williams sort of in the face. It would have been a 2-point game as he scored, but Ed Malloy sees Kenrich Williams fall down as Jalen Duren turns around. It would have been a big swing in this game. That's the weird thing about OKC Thunder. They're not going to call that type of thing when it comes to the playoffs. If there's anything to overcome OKC is just toughness and these physical fouls that aren't going to be called. So that's all. The fight level and whether or not OKC will have that in the postseason is one thing you got to question, one thing you got to worry about. The Pistons, they fought. Anyways, it was a weird call. A weird game.
It was a fun game, though. And people mentioned in the stream team yesterday, in the comments yesterday, a Thunder run should be called a thunderstorm.
Okay.
Duh. Makes sense. They had one 10-0 start at the second half, 12-0 run to end the game. This was close going into the fourth quarter. Close in the fourth quarter, 102-98 with 6.5 minutes left, and somehow ended up as a blowout win for the Thunder. That's just what they do. Dort hit a huge bouncer late in this one to really seal the game. You said the Grizzlies are down in 8th place now. Not great for them. Clippers that beat the Pelicans last night. They've won 8 of their last 10. You mentioned the Wizards beat the Kings. That is the plot of season 2 of Game of Thrones. This guy, A.J. Johnson, is exciting to watch for Washington. 19 points, 6 assists. I think he has minor Malik Monk potential. How about that one? Seeing those two guys play against each other. But Utah last night. So with the Wizards winning, Utah is now in sole position in last place in the Nut Dust Bowl. So I'll be sucking on some dust. Absolutely. They've got Indiana, Atlanta, Portland, OKC, and Minnesota left on the schedule. That's probably 0 wins. More importantly, though, 3 straight losses for Sacramento. They're 3-11 in their last 10 games. Only a game up on Phoenix for 10th, but probably more important, Miami beat Boston last night. They've won 6 straight, actually looking okay right now. They're only 1 game worse than the Kings, who are currently in 12th place, and that's where the Kings would keep their pick. So they're probably going to keep on losing here, even though they're playing all their guys and trying to win.
That pick would go to the Hawks, correct?
Yeah,
yes.
that'd be big for the Hawks if they drop to 12.
Yeah.
Or no, if they stay 13.
Right.
So they're Kings fans right now.
Yes, they are. They're watching all those unfortunate Kings games right now because that is something else. Losing to the Wizards this late in the season when you maybe want victories, or I guess you're saying maybe not, to keep their pick. They played
They're
their
healthy
guys.
and playing their guys.
Yeah, DeRozan played
They're
like 40
trying to
minutes.
win. Yeah. DeRozan had 20, I think, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they were trying. So they just can't win.
They just can't
They're
win.
just a bad basketball team.
Yep.
Anything else from the games, or do you want to move to some news?
Yeah, with the Kings, Malik Monk he struggles sometimes. I mean, it was weird that they couldn't beat the Wizards. No, not much. I saw Jarris Walker with a mean step back three. I didn't know that was part of Jarris Walker's games for the Indiana Pacers. A step back three. The guy has evolved. That is all.
There was a funny moment in that Kings-Wizards game. Did you see Jonas Valanciunas catch Bub Carrington?
Yeah.
Former teammates. And it was like sort of a dead ball situation, but Bub went for the layup, and JV, just like a father with his toddler, just grabbed him midair. Just gave him a hug, held on to him. It looked incredible. And I should say OKC, officially, greatest record of all time in interconference play, 29-1 against the East. They lost one damn game. And that was against the best team in the Eastern Conference this season in the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Nice.
Not bad. They still could win 70 games if they win outright, become the third team ever to do that. I think it's unlikely. I think they drop maybe a game or two here, could be for resting guys, whatever. I think they have a back-to-back against the Lakers, or like a two-game set against the Lakers. Always tough to beat a good
Biggest
team twice.
for sure.
Yeah. But look, they could win 70. That would be 17 straight to end the season. And I was thinking about it, like the one benefit of the play-in tournament is these good teams that are just going to be in the playoffs, you get a week off. So it's not like you don't have to lean into, let's just rest our guys for the final 3 or 4 games. You could do that and give them even more time. And I know you don't want guys to get injured. That's really a part of the equation. But you just keep playing them, maybe reduce minutes, just sort of keep going through your motions so you don't upset anything. And then you get a week off anyway because you're ending your season and then you don't play again until the next weekend with all the playing games. That's good. It's a good benefit. I'm just saying hopefully some of these teams will play it out. For the most part. Maybe a game or two here for their stars, but otherwise play it out.
Yeah, most teams play it out because you get 5 or 6 days off. But is that good for the team? The old rest versus rust?
Well, right. Because OKC, let's be honest, they could shut down everybody right now. They're like, how many games up?
Hey, when they rest guys, they win games.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They've got a good Jalen Williams. He rests. They bring in another Jalen Williams, and he has a triple-double.
Yeah. Bunch of shooters, obviously.
Yeah. Aaron Wiggins, Usman Jang is going to have a 30-point game sometime next week.
Yeah.
Rest versus rest, I think, only lasts for the first half of game 1.
Of the first game, yeah.
And then
you're playing against a bad team. That's the thing.
Also true, yeah.
A very bad team.
Do you think they'll gun, so to speak, then, for 70 wins? Or do you think there will be, regardless, they'll be sitting some guys, maybe Shea gets a game or two, but it won't matter anyway because they're so deep. What's the game plan here? Or is that
they'll rest guys.
Who cares for 70?
I think they'll rest, but they could still win 70.
Yeah, they're that damn good. Let's get to some news here. The NBA is looking into Ja Morant using his hands and arms to mimic shooting a gun toward the Warriors bench late in Tuesday night's game. That's a real sentence right there. The league probe will also look into a gesture made by Buddy Hield, who appeared to be taunting said celebration with his own finger guns. Ja Morant did not address the gesture post-game, but yesterday he appeared to respond on Twitter, posting Ja this, Ja that, and he had the crying, laughing emoji. And here's a photo. We show you this photo because he has made similar gestures in other games as this 3-point celebration. It's not that unique. Other players sort of do this stuff too, but it's the optics, Trey, surrounding Ja Morant that are different than a lot of other players because of his past. And obviously the suspensions that came with him actually showing guns on Instagram.
This is silly. I think that they will do the investigation and they'll be like, okay, Ja Morant did it, so did his dad, and so did one other guy, so did Buddy Hield, and so do players every single night in the NBA. But because it's Ja, they're going to take a look at it. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason.
Yeah. I was investigating the tape before it was announced by the NBA because Ash and I, when we do our Friday show based on Reddit threads on Friday, we're evaluating this one Reddit thread that was happening. What's going on here with Ja Morant? Why is he doing that? So it has already spurred as a big deal. This is a big deal because of who is doing it. Now, Buddy Hield, if you look at the bench, is the guy who did it first, actually, to Ja Morant. He pulls out sort of looks like a dinky gun. He doesn't really point out too hard, but it looks like he's got a little kid gun in his hands, if you'd call it that. And yeah, then Ja Morant pulls it out to to do it right back at Buddy Hield, and then Draymond Green, who says, "Look at that guy! Look at Ja Morant!" to the referee.
Like
Look
right
at him!
away.
Call him for a tech. And you go back and all the footage. If you evaluate going back in history, Draymond Green has pulled out a gun before. A lot of people have pulled it out, but because of Ja Morant and what has happened off the court with guns, yes, he will be fined. I do believe for literally.
Be, yeah.
Yeah,
Many other guys have been. Yeah. For sure.
Have been fined for doing it. Oh, well,
especially to people in the crowd, it seems more than to other players for the most part. But there's been a couple instances where guys have been fined for doing a finger gun to somebody in the crowd. So yeah, it could. I think the NBA's gonna ban this celebration completely. They've done it in the NFL. They've done it in college. They're going to try and like take away any sort of gun type gesture as a celebration, whether you do it to another player or not. I think they will come down. I don't know if it happens during the summer or not, but. They will. If they don't want any of this, then they're going to have to. And so you do it. I don't care if you did it to somebody or if you're just doing it because you're pumped. It doesn't matter. It's X amount of fine. That's what they'll have to do to get this out. And maybe that's what they'll do. Again, they won't be the first league to do it because they've been trying to crack down on it in other leagues.
They don't even let you do the throat slap in the NBA or the NFL.
In the NFL, that's right. That's right. So, but this, I'm with you guys. I don't think much will come of the Ja Morant thing. Maybe a fine, but I sort of don't even think. I think they're like, guys, okay, enough of this.
Yeah, Adam Silver may have another meeting with him. I mean, he had a sit-down meeting with him a couple years ago and may say, you just have to eliminate it, period. They may just talk him out of it or just have a fine.
I remember that meeting not going well. That was after the first incident, was it not? That was after the strip club incident where he was seen with the gun, and then he had the meeting with Silver, and then not long after... Maybe a couple months after, he was in he was on Instagram Live with his buddy in the car, and then the gun came out again. Yes, and then he got the 25-game suspension. Yeah. So,
and the interview with Jalen Rose.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All that.
And that's why this is a little like when Gilbert Arenas was being investigated for having a gun in the locker room, and he did it pre-game with his teammates. And like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
What are you doing? Yeah. I mean, and that's fair. That's fair. Like we're laughing at it, silly. We don't think it's maybe a big deal, but on the other hand, it's like you have cost your team, you've cost yourself a lot of money. You don't just do anything else.
Anything else.
Honestly, I mean, it is a little silly. It's like, okay, have you grown up a little bit? Just don't do that. But
the only funny part was Draymond Green to me complaining to the referee, saying, "Hey, do you see that guy? What he's doing? Find him.
Come on."
Yeah, it's fun for players on the floor, but it's really something that should just be banned, period.
Yeah. All right, next piece of news. This is fun. Carmelo Anthony has been notified that he has been elected into the Basketball Hall of Fame, according to Shams. So this is a report, but we're going to find out on the weekend officially. Melo, one of 17 finalists announced by the Hall in February. So the class of 2025, it'll be announced on Saturday at the men's Final Four in San Antonio, but I guess Melo's induction has leaked here, and it's not really a surprise, Trey, that Melo is going into the Hall of Fame. Your thoughts?
28,000 career points in the NBA alone. Awesome. Most successful Team USA player that we've seen up until Kevin Durant. Awesome. Won a college championship. Awesome. It's the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's not strictly the NBA Hall of Fame. The induction requirements, he meets all of them, and it's cool to just see Melo clips going around. You're like, watch him score 50 points and not take a layup. When you're watching it in real time back in the 2010s, you're like, man, this guy's got to be more efficient. He's got to get to the rim. He's got to get some free throws. But then you watch a highlight tape of it, you're like, this is ethical hooping out here. Just jab steps, pump fakes, one dribble pull-ups, and he's nice. Melo is a fun guy to watch cook.
Yeah, it's great to see him in. When I was watching him during the career, I, along with other people, I'm sure considered this guy as somebody who just shouldn't make the Hall of Fame just because he just doesn't achieve enough in terms of playoff accolades. It just hasn't happened, but I'm glad to see him in because he's just one of the purest scorers I've watched. I mean, he's just so good at it. He's top 10 all NBA time scoring ever. Top 10. He's literally 10th in NBA scoring ever. Why should he not be in when you think about it that way? If you add on the Olympics, and the college, and it's difficult to keep him out.
Then it's a no-brainer when you add those. I mean,
Yeah.
it probably already was a no-brainer, but you add the championship, most outstanding player in college in the 1 year with Syracuse, and then you add the success in Team USA. Yeah.
It's top 10 in score. I mean, that is an achievement. I mean, that is a great achievement. He only made one conference finals, really, as the lead guy when he was with the Nuggets up against the Lakers in 2009. Yeah, not a lot, but who cares? I mean, just a pure scorer. And a great dude who made a recovery in his NBA career. The whole OKC press conference when he started, he was asked, "Can you go to the bench?" Me? Go to the bench? It sure seemed like he was going, the Allen Iverson direction, where he was never going to be able to come off the bench as a secondary guy. So that was a recovery. That was the beginning of other guys making a recovery, like Russell Westbrook. Didn't seem like he would do it, but he did it after Melo. So he's made a great recovery in his career.
Melo has a chance to be selected twice in the same year Melo has a chance to be selected twice in the same year for this Hall of Fame. Oh, you look perplexed. Good.
Go on.
His 2008 Olympic roster, known as the Redeem Team, is also a finalist for induction.
They're in for sure.
So
come on.
So he could go in twice here in the same class.
Yeah.
He goes in obviously as Carmelo, and then he goes in as with the Redeem Team, and that would join the 1960 and the 1992 Olympic men's teams as Hall of Fame inductions.
Yeah, the documentary for the Redeem Team was good. Is there a wing for that? I mean, just the productions. He can get in as NBA, the Olympics, Redeem Team, and just the production wing. I don't know. I mean, that was a good wing. Just everything, anything.
The documentary.
Yeah, damn right. It was great.
One surprising note about Melo: he was a 10-time All-Star. He made 6 All-NBA teams, but he never made All-NBA first team, and that sort of surprised me a little bit.
Well.
But then you think about who
I know who is in a draft
he had to compete. Yeah. Exactly. So Melo made 2 All-NBA second teams and 4 All-NBA third teams, and this is when it was all about positions. It was 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center. And because he didn't make a first team, you can generally blame LeBron James.
Yep.
Kevin Durant.
Yep.
A lot of times. And at the beginning of his career, a lot of Dirk Nowitzki's too.
Sure.
Getting one of those forward spots. So anyway, just a little interesting. Other NBA candidates to go in here, possibly to this Hall of Fame, we'll find out on Saturday. Dwight Howard, 8-time NBA All-Star. He won 3 Defensive Players of the Years. He won a title. We think he is going to be inducted. And then some names you've seen before on the ballot. Marquise Johnson, 5-time All-Star, spent most of his career with the Bucks. Mm-hmm. And Buck Williams, 3-time All-Star, split his prime at least, between the Nets and Blazers. I feel like those guys have been on the ballot a couple times now, so they're trying to get in still. Dwight should be with Melo.
Yeah, for sure.
And then great WNBA players. I think it's Sue Bird. Is it Maya Moore, I want to say? Some really elite WNBA stars.
Oh, Maya Moore's in, of course.
Yeah, I think it's her.
Marquise Johnson can still dunk as a 60-year-old.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's cool.
Should get you in.
It should.
On that alone.
So Dwight's going to be a double inductee as well.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Also was on the the Redeem Team in 2008. How many career playoff series did Carmelo Anthony win? You mentioned the conference finals.
So those are 2.
Some Knicks.
That's
2. Knicks, there was nothing happening with the Knicks.
He won.
One?
Yeah.
Against Boston, that one series? That was just 1, right?
So we're going low here, I guess. Total series 1?
Total series.
You named them.
Wow. So 3 total?
3
total.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He played
He didn't
19
win 1
seasons.
in his first 5 years of his career. He didn't win 1.
Nope.
Yeah, his first playoff series was in
Damn.
2009, year 6. Weird.
Very weird. But not enough to keep him out, I assume.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
All right, let's hit the beach.
I got the rockets, you got the nuts, I got the chocolates, we got that chit chat down pat, blah blah blah. You got that certain special, je ne sais quoi. Let's go to the beach, baby.
We're on the beach reading your emails and your tweets. First one, hi y'all. I like the sports movie trope where a man has to pay his penance by coaching a ragtag sports team. In Mighty Ducks, 1992. Emilio Estevez has to coach the team as his court-ordered community service for drunk driving. And in Hardball, 2001, Keanu Reeves has to coach the team to settle a debt with his bookies. In the sports movie about your life, what would be your crime, and what kind of ragtag sports team would you coach in order to repay your misdeed? That's a fascinating question from Bennett in Santa Cruz. Who's got a movie to sell me on? Who wants to go first?
Great question. Well, the crime that I'd be doing all over the place is I'd steal spare tires. They just seem like they're hanging outside cars, like on the back of a Jeep or anything.
Yeah.
It seems so easy
to take.
Yeah. Okay. Call me the great sparier thief.
Oh, okay.
Why not?
Are you doing it specifically in Australia?
No, I'm banking here on Dyson Daniels. I'm piggybacking his Great Barrier Thief.
There's a lot of Jeeps in Australia.
It's so easy. It feels like, anyways.
As long as you got the tools.
Crowbar, bang! I got a tire.
Crowbar.
Free tire.
And it's like people don't even use them all that much, anyways. A lot, anyway. You could take it from a trunk. Would anybody even know that you took a tire? Obviously.
You're saying if you went into my trunk, pulled that thing up, took my tire.
You never know.
It would take me a long time. Well, until I had a flat tire, I would have known.
Then you'd be so mad.
Who took it?
You'd be mad about the flat, even more mad when you get there and see you don't have the spare.
I'm on the side of the highway taking my flat tire off. I see that I don't have it. Melas! Screaming.
Check the trunk. There's a Dyson Daniels Atlanta Hawks card in there. You're like, no, his signature.
Oh,
got
that'd
me.
be cool.
Got me.
Drop in the car. What type of team? I think I'd coach a lacrosse team.
Oh, okay.
There's not enough lacrosse movies, number one. Number two, you tell some players to use their stick to hit somebody. That's not cool. So you'd have to tell them, hey, we got to take that back. We can't do that. And then later on when we're winning, that same guy would probably hit somebody. That's like a good little storyline, Yeah, bring it back, a little callback for that. We're already writing the movie here.
Yeah.
So lacrosse would be fun.
Okay.
I don't think is there any lacrosse movie? I mean,
there's got to be a
There has
Canadian
to.
lacrosse
Air
movie.
Bud must have put a stick in his mouth at some point.
Air Bud
could play lacrosse. I mean, really, of all the sports that a dog could play, a dog can hold a stick.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
Whip its head. Anyway, I don't know many lacrosse movies. Right?
No.
Yeah.
No, that's weird.
Got to be something out there.
Anyway.
Trey, what's your movie here? I mean, what's your sports movie?
Yeah, I'll also be doing crimes all over the place. I'm going to be a jewel thief.
Okay.
I'm going to get busted for stealing jewels when I don't plan properly, so that I'm going to focus my planning and preparation to become a youth chess coach. You got to think several steps ahead.
Oh, I like it.
When you're a chess coach. So I don't know if jewel thief to chess coach is like a natural progression, but it could be. And like thief movies are cool, and I feel like chess shows and movies are better than you would expect.
Oh,
or like something that's
100%.
not that exciting, watching people move pieces on a board, it gets intense somehow.
Yeah, I fell down a YouTube rabbit hole a couple months ago, and it started getting in my algorithm. All these like just chess YouTube clips. Maybe it had to do with Wemby when he was playing. I don't know what it was, but I don't even play chess. I mean, I sort of know the rules, but I don't play. But I watch so many of these. And man, the trash talk that happens, and like the speed chess and stuff, man, it's good. I got into it for a while.
What kind of trash talk do you do on the chess pitch?
It's whole. I mean, when you think about it, it was quite. I mean, again, I don't play chess, but these pros, there's like a psychological factor to it, right? You know, like I know what you're doing. I'm better than you. They always are talking about their chess level scores or whatever they is. I'm a 1400, stuff like that. So, cool. They talked some junk.
There was that controversy of that chess player who wore jeans, right?
Yeah. The best guy in the world, isn't he?
Yeah. Your jeans is not allowed.
Yeah.
Not allowed.
No, man.
Wow. Yeah. Weird.
My movie. I got a crazy movie for you guys. Let me pitch it to you. So I guess my crime, it's probably just some petty crime, right? But I'm happen to be in like a country like Indonesia or maybe the United Arab Emirates. But it's like a pretty low level crime, but they like take it very serious.
Okay.
So then they find out I'm Canadian. And they go, all right, look, you're not going to have to go to jail, but because you're Canadian, would you coach our hockey team? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I'll do it, but I don't know dick all about ice hockey, right? So I'm thinking they're meaning ice hockey. But okay, all right, I'll try and like coach these kids, to a championship. But then they tell me it's for underwater hockey. You ever seen Yeah. Also known as octopush in the United Kingdom. They play hockey on the bottom of a pool. So this is the twist to the movie. I'm thinking it's ice hockey. I'm already freaking out. And then they tell me it's underwater hockey.
Whoa.
And so I got to learn with this team.
You can't skate and you can't swim.
Luckily, I can swim better than I can skate. But anyway, have you ever seen this though?
No.
It's a puck on the bottom. They have teams, and like they have like a little stick. It's like they call it a pusher, and they basically are just playing hockey on the bottom of the pool. But you got to go up, get your breath, go down. I think it started with like Navy SEAL guys, to
that makes
train,
sense.
and so they're like, oh, let's make a game out of it.
It's intense. Like you see guys getting punched in the balls down there, it's
Why are they getting punched?
because you get away. They're
Dillon
underwater.
Brooks.
There's no ref down there. You know?
There's no anything goes under the
You
water.
get away with whatever you want.
Maybe that's what I teach them. Anything goes under the
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were going to say it started when the ice rink melted. Well, we got to play.
water. Okay. Anyway, that's what we're doing. So.
Why did they invent that? What a dumb sport.
I think it was the Navy SEAls. I'm telling you. I love that it's called Octopush in the UK alone.
Octo?
I think it was 8-on-8. And they push this little thing around.
Octopush.
And, octopus, water.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
I think that's the joke on it. Everywhere else, it's underwater hockey.
8 players. That sounds like a lot.
Oh, yeah, pool's big.
How far can you even
I know.
slide a
I know.
puck?
I feel like it's a lot of just like moving under there, like
Yeah.
a seal with it. Yeah.
Like a-
Imagine playing. That's the championship game. You play seals. Okay.
Next
Play
one.
the Navy SEAls.
Dear No Donkey Bunch, I turned 43 on Wednesday, so naturally I looked up active NBA players wearing that number. Naturally, of course. I think the best one is Pascal Siakam. Yeah, well, for sure. Anyway, do you have any fun players who wore the number of your age? For example, when I was 5 years old, Bill Walton was wearing number 5 for the Celtics. Thanks all for the classics. That's our man Cheeve in Somerville, Massachusetts, with a very unique question.
Yes.
We've had unique questions back to back here.
Yeah.
March, April, we get our best questions.
Right.
I'm just
So
assuming.
all
we did.
he's asking though is, of any number up to my current age, so I guess 0 counts. Guys wear 0.
Any year of your life.
0 through to 44 for me. Of any of those years, which number corresponding to a player did I enjoy? Did I like?
Yep.
Fun player. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Just
And
wanted to clarify.
That particular year has to match a year.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who was wearing number 0 when you were born? Who knows?
Yeah, well, it wasn't as popular back then.
Definitely not.
No, it came on a little bit later. But my answer for this is Deion Sanders, who wears number 21, or did wear number 21 for obviously the football teams he played for, the Cowboys, Falcons, and then the Braves as well. He wore it. Was a huge Deion Sanders fan. Like, he was the coolest athlete in the world to me.
By far.
And he probably was cooler when I was in my teens. But I guess when I turned 21, I still like Deion Sanders. if I'm answering this question correctly. So
right.
Nice.
I go prime time, number 21.
Not bad.
I'll jump on the Deion piggy bank, because Deion Glover was a great player when I was 22. Who's Deion Glover? He's just a guy named Deion when I was 22. I'm just jumping on. But I went through a few years. I dug deep into this. I loved Kenneth Faried when I was 35. He just played hard, man.
Yeah.
I just liked him.
I liked him too.
Darko Milicic when I was 31. It was an interesting career. Fun. I don't know if I'd call it fun, but he was just good for storylines when I was 31. So he was kind of fun. And I mean, when I was 13, there were some good players like Steve Nash. He was a 13. Oh no, he wasn't. I got my years. I got
What
my
about Dan
years mixed
Marino?
up.
You must have liked. Oh, you're a Bills fan. You probably didn't.
Nash
like
was
Dan
13.
Yeah, but it was later. I wasn't
later.
13
Yeah.
for me. I wasn't 13.
Yeah,
It wasn't
he probably
matching.
wasn't in the
It
NBA.
wasn't
Yeah.
matching. But as far as like a guy who really hit home when I was 20, Alvin Williams hit home.
Ooh, good one.
Super fun. I don't know if you'd call him super fun, but super important for the Toronto Raptors. He was their glue when Damon Stoudemire said, I don't want any part of this franchise. He got traded for that guy who came over and helped win the first playoff series for the Toronto Raptors, hitting a clutch bucket. And him and his man Vince Carter, they helped me get in and make a deposit for my first season seats ever. So that was a big factor. Big factor in my life. Thanks for the question, Chief. You sent me through a great path, man.
How did you know that Deion Glover wore number 22 for the Raptors? That's some sicko shit right there, man.
Yeah. I mean, I looked back again.
Oh, okay. That's incredible.
But
Paul.
he's one of rare guys, man. He's just a rare guy for 22. You don't see 22 a lot.
He went to Georgia Tech. I didn't know that. Played for the Hawks.
Who else is that? 22. Wiggins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wiggins at current 22.
That's a good one. Yeah, 22. I don't know. It'd have to be when you're like young to really love these. I don't know. I'm stereotyping numbers here. I thought football numbers matched better for me.
Like,
Okay.
go on.
Okay. Nah, I don't want to go on. I went
Well,
through
football
enough
number.
sports.
I mean, that one's good because at least quarterbacks are. What's the range they could be at? I don't know if that's changed.
They're like
but
1 through 19.
yeah, right. And
Yeah.
so when we were obviously falling in love with all sports as you are as a kid, and you love the quarterback, so you're going to have a wide range
Here
of
comes
quarterbacks to
Jim
pick from.
Kelly.
Yeah, number 12.
Well, he could have been 12 when
Yeah.
you were
Oh,
12
yeah.
years
Oh,
old.
yeah.
Probably.
That's a good one.
He wasn't
That
winning.
matches up perfect.
Wasn't winning Super Bowls, but you know,
He's still a great
it
player.
was a great player. He's a great player.
What was Doug Flutie?
22 in college, wasn't he?
Oh.
I think he was actually.
He got around with Bills. He was a 7.
Yeah, he was a regular quarterback number.
Yeah.
Oh, 7. Yeah, that does sound right. I'll check real quick. He was, he wore number 2 for the Bears early on and the Patriots.
Oh.
And then 7 for the Bills. Yeah.
The drop kick. He did the drop kick, man. That guy was awesome. But yeah.
Here's a random question. How many football games in the NFL did Doug Flutie play in?
NFL games?
Yeah.
Well, he was like NFL, then he was CFL for a long time, then back to NFL. I bet he played like 40 games in the NFL.
Okay.
That's a good guess. I mean,
It's gonna
not
be too
many
high.
more. Not many more than that. I don't know. Something like that.
No, he played 92 games.
Okay.
I mean, there were those 4 seasons with the Bills I guess 3 seasons that he did play a lot.
Yeah.
And then with the Chargers, he played a lot too. So, okay.
Drop kick Doug.
Drop kick Doug. I saw him in a bathroom once, the Niagara Falls casino. we
Small,
urinated.
right? Tiny guy.
He was very.
for a quarterback.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you use the lower urinal?
He's 5'10". You're tall.
Yeah, he could reach the tall ones.
Yeah, I guess we can. He can. Yeah.
I'm 41 years old. That's Dirk Nowitzki's number. That's the best
Hey,
one I got.
that's a good one.
My sister turned 7 when Tony Kukoc was good for the Bulls, though, and that was pretty cool. She got a Tony Kukoc jersey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice match.
That's a very cool one. All right, final question here. Hey, fellas, this feels like a very Taco Tray-centric story/question. Last week, while at the Sphere in Vegas, waiting on Dead & Company to start. Yeah, that's a good Trey Kerby start to a story.
Feels like it.
Yeah, I was following along with the Lakers-Bulls game and texting people about it. Just as the first notes were being played and the insane graphics started on the monstrosity of a screen, I was also hearing about the craziness that transpired in Chicago. As a Lakers fan, this would normally ruin my night. However, I was completely distracted by the awesomeness, and I didn't care one bit. Anyways, what's a time where something that would normally have ruined your night did not because of some other circumstance? Sports-related is a bonus. Music-related is a double bonus. That's from Ryan. So he's obviously talking about the Josh Giddey
Yes.
game
Yes, indeed.
winner against the Lakers. That was a wild game, but he wasn't all that stressed as a Lakers fan because he was at the Sphere. So Dead & Company back in the Sphere.
They're back in the Sphere. Yep. I had a friend who went the day after. I suppose Ryan did. He went to the Friday show, and this was a Thursday show. I actually wore a Bulls Grateful Dead shirt to my Dead & Company show at the Sphere. So this is even more
Jeez.
Taco Tray coded than you could have possibly imagined. I went back and looked. The Bulls lost to the Heat the day I got married. I didn't know they played, so I mean, it didn't faze me at all. And then recently, I was totally on fire on a Thursday night playing pickup basketball. I played for only an hour out of the 2 hours. I probably was 8 for 10 from 3. Like, I could not miss.
Jeez.
I had to leave, though, at 8 o'clock to go see a Father John Misty concert. And normally, if you're as hot as I was that night, you don't
Yeah,
want to leave the
you don't
gym.
leave.
But it was nice because we got to the show, and it was a great show. So I was like, this actually ended up perfect. Nice hour of basketball. Nice 2 hours with my friend Dr. Richard Bailey.
That was awesome.
Great night.
That was a great show.
Yeah.
I was there with you.
Yeah.
I
Vibing.
didn't even go to basketball. I wish I saw it, man. I heard stories.
wish I
of Trey
saw
People were
Kerby on
talking.
fire.
People were talking, man.
Yeah.
I have one hot shooting night per year.
Hey, that's
Like
a good one.
unstoppable night.
That's a good one. It's a
Yeah,
good
that was a
feeling.
good one.
What do you got here, Tass?
I don't have a good answer. I got to be completely honest. I was just dug deep into matching a sports number of my,
Just looking at
of my
numbers.
youth.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to find, every one of my years of my life to find a 43. I guess Chief and I are the same age.
Oh. Siakam, I guess. Yeah.
Pascal. Yeah, it's a good match. Anyways, I didn't have a good answer for this.
Okay, I got one that maybe
go
you
ahead.
could even take as well. Maybe I'll speak for all of us, in fact. Because the question is a time where something that would normally have ruined your night did not because of some other circumstance. Well, we didn't go to All-Star Weekend this year. That's a bit of a bummer. It was like, damn, we go to these every year. We weren't, though. And then, we did the viewing party for NBA All-Star Saturday night. Was it the greatest All-Star Saturday night we ever had? No. We had some hilarity, though, in the skills challenge. 3-point contest was fine. And then, obviously, Mac McClung did his thing in the dunk contest with a bunch of 50s, jumping over a car and everything, but didn't have, quite the competition. My whole point is, though, it ended up being super fun. We had a blast here, I thought, that night. I was like, actually, this is a blast. Everybody's in the stream team. We're doing it live on YouTube and making what I thought was going to be this sucks. We're not there. And then it sort of is pretty flat. I had a blast. So that was my answer.
It did work out good.
It did. Yeah, it did in the end. But hopefully we'll be there next year. In where? Where are they?
Is it LA?
LA.
Yeah.
LA. They were in the Bay this year. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good question.
Into it, Dome. I'm into it.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to be in it. I'd love to take a dump in all those toilets.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got to eat a lot before that game.
And, speaking of events that we go to, tying in here, since we had a great Taco Tray tie-in to the Sphere, we could be at the Summer League this July.
Yeah.
Could be taking in the Backstreet Boys at Summer League.
At the Sphere?
At the Sphere. Has anyone... I've never even contemplated seeing the Backstreet Boys, really.
No,
even though
I
like my boy bands, but I've never been into Backstreet Boys. But this will suck me in. Has anybody seen the Backstreet Boys live?
No.
I saw NSYNC back in the day. And Timberlake.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're great shows.
I'm sure it is. Then you're going to know all the songs. That's fun. And then, what are they showing on the Sphere, though? Because, Dead & Co., I get it, psychedelics, all the cool things.
Oh, man, when they blast off from Haight-Ashbury and the whole crowd literally goes, whoa!
Okay, see, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, but what the hell are we going to do to the Backstreet?
Well, you're going to go in.
Lots of videos. One of their videos is in space, right?
We better not be just seeing their videos.
No, I'm saying that they take the inspiration from the videos, and then we're going to be flying through space for Backstreet's Back. And
maybe a Halloween theme too.
Is that Larger Than Life?
What's that?
Is that Larger Than Life, that song where they're all in costume?
Clouds.
I don't know.
We're going to go into heaven. Yeah. Backstreet's Back.
Yeah. We're going to go to heaven.
You're going to be surrounded by heaven.
Mm-hmm. I guess that's cool. But what are they doing for Backstreet's Back? All right. What's going on? What am I looking at?
Images, man. What images?
I need more than that.
You're going to be looking at a 40-foot-tall Howie Dummer doing choreography. Wow. The dancing is part of it, too.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, I guess.
You got to see their moves.
Look, I'm going. I got to see the Sphere, man.
Rachel's like, we are 100% going to this.
Jeez.
So she's going. I'm going. I'll see you there.
All right. I'll see you there, man. That's in the summer.
Yeah.
So we're going to call this show right now. A few of us got to get on a plane and head to LA to see our boy Matty O. Matty O bachelor party. Tess holding it down though tomorrow with Esh here in the factory. You're doing an NBA Reddit podcast where you're looking at some of the best threads from Reddit and obviously dissecting them and talking about them with Esh.
Yeah, we've got some of those. I'm sure we'll touch on Lakers Warriors happening tonight. Just have to do that. But there's some good Reddit threads out there to talk about whether or not we should get rid of corner threes. That's going to come up.
Oh boy.
Why everybody is hating on the NBA in a weird way, based on David Aldridge's article on The Athletic. There's lots of tie-ins, so we'll do that.
All right, so Tass and Esh here from the Classic Factory tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. We may not be back next week till a little bit later in the week. I know you guys have the kids' spring break, so some of you getting away. I will be here with JD a little bit later in the week. So anyway, make sure you subscribe so you know when the show is going live and you can download it automatically. All right, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, see you tomorrow.
Brace the day, people.